The Other Sense by J.S. Fletcher. October the 21st. They have told me today, with obvious reluctance, and in the kindest fashion, that I am to go tomorrow to the house of a Dr. Schreiber, in whose care I am to remain until I am restored to health. Restored to health? My God! I am as healthy a lad of 19, I believe, as anyone would wish to meet. Certainly I have no recollection of any illness, beyond a dose of measles when I was 7, and a very slight touch of scarlet fever a few years ago. Restored to health? No, that is merely their kind way of putting it. What they really mean is, I am to go and live with this Dr. Schreiber, whoever he may be, until he and they and the doctors whom they have brought to see me so often lately think I am sane. That, of course, is the real truth. I have often wondered, as I have grown up out of my lonely childhood towards manhood, how strange it is that what seems so easy to the child about truth-telling seems so difficult to the man. Now I am beginning to understand. All the same, it would have been much more to my taste if my guardian and his wife had said to me, "Angus, we're very, very sorry, but the doctors and we don't think everything is as it should be with your intellect. And Dr. Schreiber is a famous mental specialist," and so on. But then equally, of course, they couldn't have said that to me if they really believed that I am mad. And they do. I know. I've seen them not once but 1,000 times since I came here to London from Altnachil 2 years ago. When shall I see it again, and the mists on the mountains, watching me as country folk watch the freaks at a fair? There is a puzzled look which comes into their faces, their brows knit, and their lips are slowly compressed or pursed up. And if they think I do not see them, they look at each other and shake their heads and sigh. I cannot think of more than 3 things which should make them believe me mad. One is that I am very fond of solitude, liking to be left to myself as much as I can. Another is that I think a great deal, just as I read a great deal, and that I sometimes frown at my thoughts, sometimes smile at them, and sometimes laugh long and loud at them. Perhaps when Major Kennedy and Mrs. Kennedy and I are alone after dinner, he reading the Times and she busy with her knitting, behaviour of this sort on my part may seem strange. It is only now occurring to me that it may. Certainly I have seen the Major drop his newspaper and jump, literally jump, in his armchair. When thinking of something that amused me, I have indulged in a sudden peal of laughter. Yet why should one not laugh whenever one sees or thinks of something to laugh at? But I have found that a great many of the people whom I have met in London only laugh when a sort of signal is given. There are 2 reasons. The only other reason I can think of is that I have told them once or twice, just as I told the doctors whom they have at times brought to see me, that I can see things, which I find out that most other people do not or cannot see. The first time I told them, for instance, of the spirit, which I have seen a score or so times at Altnachil, they stared at me as if I were telling them lies, and they both looked curiously uncomfortable. Now my old nurse, Margaret Lang, never looked uncomfortable when I told her of these things. Neither did Dugald Graham, my father's old body servant. They seemed to realize and to understand my meaning. I've been thinking today, since I heard what my guardian and his wife had to tell me. He, poor man, in his stiff military-modelled sentences, and she more by tears than by words, about my life as a child, and afterwards as a boy. Altnachil is in one of the loneliest glens of the Strathern Mountains, a very great way indeed from the railways. There my father, Angus MacIntyre like myself, went to live just after he was married to my mother, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?